My intention, and Jess and I talked about this, is to leave you empowered to cultivate confidence anytime you need it. And none of us are confident all the time. And I think, we're not really born with it. It is a muscle, and I coach it like a muscle, just like a personal trainer coaches how many steps and
Yeah.
aerobic versus whatever. Coaching confidence as a muscle, it's just you can train it and you can start where you are. And that's been my experience of it for my own self. I've had plenty of times where I didn't think I belonged in that room, that big room that I was in, and brought all my little Shelly girl, little girl self with me. And just over time, sort of learned how to have her sit quietly when I
Hmm.
don't need her
Yeah.
so that I can go be big Shelly or badass Shelly or creative Shelly or whatever Shelly I need in that moment. So I hope all of you get some of that today, or that you just get whatever you need today.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Shelly, do you wanna like dig in to just the topic at hand? Do you want to just
Yeah.
like you talk about this best friend thing? And I think, when Shelly came over to my house and we really got into, we can talk for hours. We actually had to stop our conversation, like, okay, I have to run and get to this next thing. But we kind of really we started to resonate around this idea of that voice of being the best friend in our voice. And I think that let me be clear. I don't want I'm going to use this word cliche. I think it's an easy default. Like you should just be your best friend, talk to your, all that. But like, what does it look like in real life? Like, especially in the hard times when we're having a difficult, especially hard day. What does it mean to tap into that best friend? What does that look like for real?
I think it's self-love, and sometimes that's really hard. Um, And I think when it's hard for me to find it, I think, well, what would my best friend Marie and my best friend Jennifer and my best friend Lauren say to me right now if I called them and said, girl, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I feel lost. I don't know what to do. Who would they be for me? Which they've done many times, Marie. All my wild women friends are on the call here, my wife. I have to be that person for myself. And that is the training part, I think. Like
Yeah,
that's the how do I be for me? How do I love me? How do I believe in me when I need it in that moment? And being my best friend to myself and that concept of self-love. And it's more than positive self-talk. I mean, that's part of it.
right.
But it's also the ability to interrupt when that voice is giving you something that is not helpful.
Yeah.
And
So
that
we're
almost always comes from the past, right? You're always kind of bringing that past forward with you, and the ability to interrupt and go, "Oh, that's my little girl talking. That's not me right now."
Yeah, let's pause on that. So the internal and external voices. So and we talked about this and I thought this is so true. You're really clear about the distinction about where it comes from, where this negative self-talk comes from. And you go straight to any it's, talking about being a thought, but also just this idea of it being in the past. And
Mhm.
so do you want to just unpack that a little bit? So I think it's very important. And to me, it was a little bit of an aha. And I know this to be true, but it was like, Jess, this is true. Yeah. So
Mhm. Yeah, this idea of not delegating your confidence, because if your confidence comes from out there, whatever
yeah,
that external is, the award, the promotion, the title, you need people telling you all the time that you're great. That is all fabulous. Like it's who doesn't want that?
yeah,
And if that's the sole source of your confidence, then you've delegated it to someone else and you're going to get what they want you to have.
yeah.
Versus, hey, I need to tap into this right now for me. How do I do that? And so this idea of internal validation, I also call it inside voice and outside voice.
Okay.
What is my inside voice telling me?
Yeah.
And is the outside voice helpful? If it is, take it. If it's
Yeah.
not, don't take it.
Yeah.
But and then how do I actually train my inside voice to work for me and be able to quiet it when it happens? Because our brains are wired to talk to us all the time. They're constantly chattering to us.